I like the art. Wait. You have 60 minutes. What? Whoa. Hello fellow anime geeks and welcome to another video on my quest to try every anime series I can. I got my usual 4 questions ready to organize my thoughts, and today I'm talking Subarashiki kono Sekai the animation, or The World Ends With You the animation on Funi. This title could have definitely benefited from some punctuation, but it is important that we distinguish it from the RPG that this is based on. FYI, I'm not a big pocket gamer, so I haven't played the game, so I'm coming at this with a fresh anime-only perspective. This only had 2 mal tags, action and adventure, and while I agree this has plenty of action, I wouldn't necessarily call this anime an adventure anime. I think maybe that's just a tag that's carried over from the fact that this is based on an RPG. I would, however, add supernatural to the tags because the whole premise is that these Shinigami are putting on a deadly game on an alternate plane of existence. And therefore there's this kind of thrilling aspect to the plot that reminds me of Darwin's game and Imawa no Kuni. So, I'm going to say that this is a supernatural action thriller, but with the big caveat that this has all of the awkwardness of a game adaptation. That said, the premise carried over from the game is actually pretty darn intriguing. Our protagonist wakes up in Shibuya, or at least a version of Shibuya, and quickly realizes that while he can see the real world going on around him, they can't really see him. Only other players and Shinigami are able to see each other, and they have to fight these monsters called the Noise, or face getting erased. The Noise are the embodiment of negativity, so there's constant feedback from the people of Shibuya that our players have to fight. But the Shinigami also like to send daily waves of increasing difficulty their way because they get points and promotions based on how good a show they put on and how many players they erase. There's twists and turns and interesting revelations about our protagonist and the nature of this game. We meet other players and some surprisingly dark crud starts to go down. But the thing is, most of what I like and find interesting about this anime is actually carried over from the game. The premise, the mood, the art style, the music, all of it reminds me of Square Enix's previous work on the Persona series, and I'm very fond of Persona 3. But the anime's unique qualities are few. I like the opening, I felt like it set the tone well. I liked that they transferred the thick, kind of dark outlines into the animation. I think that it made the CG fight sequences a bit less out of place and awkward, and actually the combination kind of reminded me of Borderlands. But the more I watched, the more I started feeling like they kind of just did the bare minimum to string all of the game cutscenes together. The pacing and the development were really poor, and these are the things that we are usually in charge of when we're playing a game. The character introductions and backstories are just as quick as if you were playing a game, and a lot of the character actions just didn't make sense. But you know, keep them in there because we need some exposition, much like a game tutorial. And then there's the fact that there's zero explanation of this magic system for this world. I saw our protagonist use fire and then lightning and then ice. I mean, how does this even work? Where do these psychic powers even come from? Why do you have to pair up with another player to use the powers? And what is this dumb power move where you have to close your eyes and focus in the middle of a fight? And how are all these normal kids so darn athletic? So, is it worthwhile? Well, I think that actually depends on its purpose. I don't think it's any coincidence that this anime came out this season prior to the release of the game sequel, and it really made me want to play the game. Like I said, the actual concept is really cool, so you could say that it accomplished its function. But in terms of it being a narrative, I'm just gonna say what I usually say about game adaptations like this, and that's that it's really difficult to adapt a user-guided experience to a third-person narrative. They're just 2 completely different kinds of media, and I feel like you have to be either really conscious about expanding the character interactions and stories to really fill out that narrative, or you have to be just completely willing to ditch everything and start fresh, write about a new character in that universe. And since we didn't really do either of those things here, I'm just gonna say that as an anime, this one isn't really worthwhile. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next video. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Why doesn't he ever take his headphones off? Okay.